What's up, everybody? My name is David. I'm bringing you the 2024 draft for franchises. Yes, the time is finally here. We're going to see who these 8 franchises select, and we're going to see who all the teams in the NFL select. But more importantly, we're going to focus on our 8 teams. The Bears have the first overall pick. What do they do? That is the big question everyone is asking. The Bears keeping Justin Fields, or are they taking Caleb Williams? Well, let's find out. Let's get to the draft. Thank you for joining us. So glad you're here. Please enjoy. This is the entire draft in its entirety, except for the 7th round. We simmed through that because we ran out of players, so little spoiler there. Let's start drafting. Alright, so here we are. The Bears are on the clock. What do they do? Talk all offseason. This has been about the Bears. Do they keep Justin Fields? Do they draft Caleb Williams? Do they trade out of the pick? Do they take the wide receiver? Well, it's time we find out. And it looks like the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. Oh my God. Caleb Williams has said that he might not want to go to Chicago, so it could be a gamble pick for them. But now what do they do with Justin Fields? I'm sure we'll probably find out in the rest of this draft. I hope so. We don't want to see this drag on all offseason. That would be horrible for Justin Fields and the rest of the NFL who wants to know the answer to that question. So, Caleb Williams is the new starting quarterback in Chicago? Question mark? Alright, but now it's the Arizona Cardinals on the clock. They have number 2, and we have breaking news. There is a trade. The Arizona Cardinals have made a deal with the Tennessee Titans, as you saw in the details. Who are the Tennessee Titans trading up the draft? Is it a quarterback, as everyone has speculated that they were trying to trade up the draft? Maybe Drake May or Jayden Daniels. It's time to find out. And it looks like they're going to take Jayden Daniels. The pick is in. It is Jayden Daniels, 90 speed, 92 acceleration, hidden development. Jayden Daniels is the new starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Will Levis, obviously not the man that this current regime has drafted, and they want their own guy. They send a bunch of picks to move up a couple in the first round, and they select the new starting quarterback, Jayden Daniels. Now, that brings us to the Patriots. What are the Patriots going to do at number 3? Many say they just take the next available quarterback that was either going to be Drake May or Jayden Daniels. So they're sitting there staring at pretty much a layup. They don't have to trade up. They don't have to trade back. So they take Drake May, 87 speed, 90 acceleration, 96 throw power with hidden development. He's 6'4", only 21 years old. Drake May is the new starting quarterback in New England. Is he the next Tom Brady? Only time will tell. The Washington Commanders are on the block, and they make a trade. Look at this. The Bears are trading back up. They trade Justin Fields and their first round pick to the Washington Commanders for their first and their second round pick. So the Bears are now back in the second round, and they move up a bunch of picks to draft not a quarterback. Who else? It has to be a weapon. It has to be a weapon or someone on the defensive line to really help that Bears defense. But could they be looking for another weapon to go with Caleb Williams and his future? The pick is looking like it's in, but we'll have to see. Did they take another tackle? Are they going to take Dallas Turner, Joe Alt, Brock Bowers, O'Dunes, Marvin Harrison Jr.? There's been speculation they wanted even Marvin Harrison at number 1 this entire time. So, do they pull the trigger? Are they trading up to get their franchise quarterback and their franchise starting wide receiver, to what people think are generational talents? And they do. They take Marvin Harrison Jr. He's 6'4", 21 years old, 92 speed, 96 acceleration. He is a monster. Some say he might be one of the best wide receiver prospects to ever come out of the draft. All right, the Chargers now are on the board. Many speculate that they're just going to take a offensive lineman, a tackle that they need. Pretty self-explanatory. And they do. Alu Fashanu is going to be their new starting right tackle probably. He played left in college, but he can definitely move over to right tackle and really solidify that offensive line there in LA for the Chargers. What a pick for them. What a beast he is. Now the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. They were at number 2, but remember they traded back with the Tennessee Titans. They need another tackle. And there you go. Really building the offensive line as well as the LA Chargers. Joe Alt is a mammoth of a human being. 6'8", 322, 21 years old. Hidden development. I mean, that is a slam dunk pick if I've ever seen one. Now the Giants are on the board, and they're going to quickly get to their pick, which is J.C. Latham. Jets are on the block. Dallas Turner, wow. The pass rusher, outside linebacker, goes to the Jets. You know they love their defense in New York. Now the Washington Commanders are back on the clock here as they had moved back with the Bears. Who do they take? Do they replace Montez Sweat? Or do they look to add to another position? It looks to be that they are looking to get some outside pass rush to go with Bryce Huff, who they picked up in the free agency. Could they be looking at Chop Robinson? He is a outside linebacker, but they could possibly move him to D-end. A little undersized at 6'3", but a great pass rusher. And a great name, Chop Robinson. And they pick him. 89 speed, 90 acceleration, 82 strength for a man who's 6'3", 254, 22 years old, hidden development. Chop Robinson is going to the Washington Commanders. The Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. Who do they select? Brock Bowers? What a weird pick. They already have a tight end that they have signed for a long time, but I mean, those are two really great tight ends there to have in Minnesota. Kool-Aid goes off the board. Colts get Trice. Well, I'm sorry, excuse me. Saints get Trice. The Saints get Neighbors. Now the Bengals are on the clock. Who do the Bengals take? They need to replace T. Higgins, and who do they do that with? Is it Nate Wiggins? Is it Rome Odunze? Could it be Keon Coleman, Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, or maybe the biggest freak of the draft, Xavier Legette, 6'3", super fast. I'm guessing it's either be Legette or Odunze. Rome Odunze, it is 6'3", 211, 22 years old, 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 73 strength. Rome Odunze is replacing T. Higgins in Cincinnati. Now we do have one more pick in the franchise's focus teams for the first round, and that would be the Arizona Cardinals, who have picked number 25 in the draft. As we see who the rest of the NFL is taking as we lead up to that pick. McCarthy is the new quarterback in Tampa Bay. Leonard Taylor goes to Seattle. Mims goes to Pittsburgh. The Texans get another offensive lineman there. Wiggins to Clemson. Barton to the Lions. Alright, the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. They have the last pick of the first round of all the franchise teams. Let's see who they take. They need D-line help. They need help everywhere. But maybe they take a weapon for the future because there is a freak on the board. Xavier Legette, 6'3", 227, 96 speed, 96 acceleration, hidden development, 71 strength. I mean, this guy is an absolute monster. Some people speculated that the Bengals were going to take him, but they went with O'Dunes, who's just as good. But this guy is just a monster. He is a monster. He's going to be a problem for a long time. Maybe the next Larry Fitzgerald, but way faster. We'll have to see. That concludes the end of the picks for the franchise focus teams in the first round. We'll see you back here for the beginning of the second round with more franchise focus picks. The Carolina Panthers have the first pick in the second round. Alright, so the Carolina Panthers are on the clock and they have so many needs. First pick of the second round, where do they go? They need a defensive tackle for sure, and they get a good one here. He's a big guy, hidden development. He's going to be pretty good for them for a long time, I can see. Next on the clock, we have the Arizona Cardinals, and they also need some help on the defensive line, and they get their help. Mason Smith, 21 years old, hidden development. Good pick for them. Patriots are on the block. They're kind of in a luxury, I think they believe, of just take the best available guy. Doesn't have to start right away. They can development at almost any position, and they're looking at another linebacker. They take Jeremiah Trotter Jr., which is a good pick. They have two starting middle linebackers, but they're starting to get old, and they should be moving on from one of them at least in the next year or two. So they take a good pick there. Next, we have the Bears. They really need a center. They did not get one in free agency like they wanted. Van Pran is sitting right there. Cedric Van Pran, great pick for them. If they choose him, and they do, 6'4", 310, 22 years old, hidden development. He's going to be a good pick for a long time for them. So we have the Chargers sitting on the block. And what could the Chargers use? They could use a lot of things. They add in free agency on the defensive line, so they can wait on that a little bit. They need weapons, running back or a tight end, and I think they're going to go Trayvon Henderson here, it looks like. And they do 92 speed, 93 acceleration. He's 21 years old, 213 hidden development. He is their replacement to Austin Eckler. Now we have the Arizona Cardinals on the clock, and they got this pick in the Jaden Daniel trade with the Tennessee Titans. They need more defensive line help, and I think that's who they're looking at right here with Chris Jenkins. Adding two big pieces to their defensive line for a long time, and the top of the second round. They're looking really nice here if they can add him. big run stopper, 6'3", 305. They have really upgraded their defense in just a matter of picks in this draft. They're doing a phenomenal job in back-to-back years, I think. Doing well in the draft. The Giants take Michael Penix Jr., the Packers take Kinchins, the Falcons are now on clock, and they take Lassiter. That brings us to the Commanders pick. And Commanders definitely, I think, could add some more weapons here to help their new quarterback that's coming in. And they take Xavier Worthy, who is 96 speed, 96 acceleration. Only 175 pounds, but his development, he fits into the mold of the type of wide receivers I think they like. And he could be the long-term replacement to Terry McLaurin, who's getting a little bit older. The next couple of picks as we wait to get to the next control team, which should be the Bengals, which is coming up. Eagles take their replacement at right tackle, Delane Johnson. Now the Bengals are on the clock, and what would they be looking at? They could definitely use some help on the offensive line. Along with the free agent pickups they have a need at left guard, right guard, and Troy Fatunu will be their new guard in Cincinnati, and they've really, I think, made their offensive line into a strength here, protecting Joe Burrow, and their team is looking prime and ready to win in the playoffs. They should be going back to the playoffs, you would think, as long as Joe Burrow stays healthy, and it looks like that's what they're trying to ensure with really paying attention to the offensive line this offseason.
Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. With the next selection, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next up, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. On the clock now, the Kansas City Chiefs. With the next selection, the Lions are on the clock. The Houston Texans are now on the clock. On the clock now, the Los Angeles Rams. The Miami Dolphins now on the clock. It's the Cowboys now on the clock. It's the Bills now on the clock. It's now the San Francisco 49ers pick. They're up. The Philadelphia Eagles on the clock now. With the next selection, the Ravens are on the clock. It's the Carolina Panthers now on the clock.
Okay, so we're at the third round. The Panthers are back on the clock. They definitely have a need at free safety and other positions, but Andrew Mukuba is a guy with a lot of speed. He's hidden development, 95 speed, 95 acceleration for a free safety. He's just crazy. Arizona's on the clock. Who are they looking at here? They could really use a corner, and the best corner, in my opinion, in this draft is Chris Abrams-Draine. He's probably got the most speed of all the corners. And he does 92 speed, 93 acceleration. He's got hidden development. So in 3 picks, the Arizona Cardinals have really changed their defense. 2 big defensive linemen, and now they got CAD, man-to-man corner. Their defense has really changed in a matter of picks. Patriots are on the block. Patriots could do go in so many ways here. They just want to, I think, pick players that they can build and have for a long time to eventually replace starters that they have, maybe win the jobs in the season. They're looking at free safety Kalen Bullock, 6'3", 21 years old, 87 speed, 89 acceleration. He's a hidden development. Maybe a guy that can play in the slot with his weight. Definitely not an in-box safety. Zach Zinter goes to the Commanders, so the Commanders add to their offensive line and protecting Justin Fields. Great pick for them. 6'6", 322. Now he could play tackle maybe. They can move him all over the offensive line. That's a great pick for them. So Justin Fields gets more protection along with weapons in this draft. That puts the Chargers on the block, on the clock. And they need a tight end really bad. Cade Stover. Not hidden development. 86 speed, 87 acceleration, but he is 6'4", so he does have some decent strength. 255. A little on the older side, but they hope he can play right away. So they were in desperate need of a tight end. They had no tight ends going into this draft, so that was a need for them. So Cade Stover be the future tight end of the Chargers. Arizona is on the block. What could Arizona be looking for? I mean, where could they not be going? They need more help everywhere. They need, if they're going to want to run a 3-4, they're going to need another middle linebacker. And you have Peyton Wilson here, who's 6'4". Danny Stutzman's pretty big. Mondon Jr. is 6'3" and very fast. Let's see what they go with here. Quite good decision. All right, so they take Mondon Jr., 88 speed, 91 acceleration. So they have some really fast middle linebackers there to go with Poe in Arizona. We have the Bears coming up here in a few picks. So the Bears are on the clock, and what could the Bears use? Definitely more help on the offensive line. They need defensive line help too, but looks like they're going with Blake Fisher, 6'6", 21 years old. The Eagles were in on him, but he's not hitting development, but he's 21 years old and he's 6'6", 86 strength. So he is someone that can definitely build up over time and could be a nice piece to move around their offensive line going forward. Now we have a few picks here until we get to our next franchise focus team, which is the Cincinnati Bengals. Now the Bengals could be looking for a couple things here. They really need a tight end, but they also need to replace or fill in their left outside linebacker position, and they like their fast guys here. 87 speed, 91 acceleration. Carter goes to the Bengals. The Titans are coming up here towards the end of the third round. Titans, they are looking at, well, they need a lot of things. They definitely need D-line help, and you have Stackhouse here. Not hidden development, but he's a big boy at 320, 6'3", 320, 87 strength. Got some decent speed. He will be a nice little piece there on the D-line next to Simmons, who's an absolute monster in Tennessee. So another team that needed to boost up their defensive line, that is the Tennessee Titans. Good pick by them.
Next up, it's the Dolphins on the clock. The Buffalo Bills are now on the clock. The Washington Commanders are now on the clock.
All right, the Commanders are on the block. What are the Commanders looking for here in this position? I think they have a good middle linebacker, but they could be looking to move him to left outside linebacker or right outside linebacker. Interesting to see what they do with Stunson, but he's big, 6'4". That's a good pick. Carolina Panthers are on the block here to begin the 4th round. Carolina Panthers definitely need more help on the offensive line. And Connor Kobe is sitting there. Not sure his development. It's not what they wanted in hidden development, but he's definitely young and he's got potential to build up over time. Arizona's on the block. Arizona has a lot of picks this draft. What could they be looking at? They need they don't really have the biggest need at halfback, but they take the fastest running back in the draft, which is Jalen Wright, 96 speed, 96 acceleration. That guy can fly. The Patriots are on the block. They need some tight end help here. They need to get younger at tight end and develop guys for the future. And Jaheim Bell, 88 speed, 90 acceleration. He's only 6'3", more of a smaller type there, but that'll be a good pick for them if they can develop him over time. The Commanders are on the block, on the clock. Please stop saying that. Donovan Jackson, not hidden developed, but another guy, 6'4", 320, 22 years old, a guy that can plug and play and develop over time. The Chargers are on the clock. They took a tight end in their last pick, and it looks like they're going to double up on the position and just wait for one of these guys to play themselves. This Luke Lachey, 6'6", 255. He's a lot heavier than Stovar. The Titans are now on the clock, and they need so many things to go right for them here. They need everything. Strong safety James Williams, 6'5", 215, hidden development, 89 speed, 87 acceleration. This guy is a freak of nature. I'm surprised to see him last this long, but many just thought he was a numbers guy, just putting on a show in the combine, a freak. But maybe he can actually play, and they can develop him in Tennessee. What a pick! The Bears are back on the clock. Probably looking for more O-line help or another weapon to add to the arsenal, because truth is their leading wide receiver is going to be getting older. the next few years, so he could be out, and he's getting more expensive. But it looks like they're looking at Tate Ratledge. Not hidden development, but he's pretty big, 6'6", 310, 22 years old. He'll be a good pick for them. Titans back on the clock. They could be looking for more O-line help, maybe D-line help. Ruben Fotheri goes to Tennessee. That's some O-line help for them. Not him development, but a guy I think they can build up over time. The Bengals are the next team we are waiting in the franchise focus teams to pick. The Jags have back-to-back picks leading up until the Bengals select. The Bengals are on the clock, and they desperately need to get a tight end here. There's a couple tight ends that already went off the board, and they need a young tight end which they can develop. Oronde Gadsden, 6'5", but he's only 223. He's a little undersized in weight. 87 speed, 87 acceleration. Maybe a tweener guy that is a slot tight end more than an inline tight end. All right, so we're at the last pick of the 4th round for the franchise focus teams. We have the Bears, probably just taking best available, and Brandon Rice goes 6'3", 210, 93 speed, 94 acceleration, hidden development. What a hidden little gem I think they found in the later rounds of the draft. And that takes us to the 2nd pick of the 5th round with the Arizona Cardinals. Kyrie Jackson, a hybrid safety for them, 89 speed, 90 acceleration. He's young, 22 years old, but no hidden development. A nice guy. They can plug and play there. Patriots are on the block. Just looking to add to this team. Patriots could be looking for O-line help here or a tight end. Looks like they take Josh Simmons, 6'5", 310. No hidden development, but he looks like a guy that they can, develop over time. Like most of these guys in the later rounds, the Washington Commanders are on the block. Still need some O-line help, I think, going in the future. And they go actually D-line here. Landon Jackson, a left end. Big boy right there they took. That is a big boy that they just took there at the left end spot. Chargers are on the block. They need a corner, and it looks like they're looking at Jason Marshall Jr., not hidden development, 89 speed, 90 acceleration. All right, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock here. They are just looking for any kind of help. Jermaine Burton, a nice little weapon for them, could be the pick. He is super fast, 96 speed, 96 acceleration, hidden development. That is a nice gem in the later rounds. The 5th round, Giants are on the block. Looking to get to our next focus team, which is the Bears. the picks, the selections are starting to thin out here. Who are the Bears on? They just took Brandon Rice, and looks like they're just gonna throw in the towel here on their picks going forward. And I think we're gonna let it ride from here. So we will see you at the end of the drafts and let the picks ride on some of these guys, and some of these other teams will just let them take who they want.
It's now the Vikings' turn on the clock. The Bengals now on the clock.
Alright guys, we've reached the 7th round. We're going to skim through this. There's nothing else to select. There's no one else to pick, really. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let's break down this draft in the next video to see who won the draft in the offseason. Peace.